We've gone for the yellow today.
Oh, I like it. I like it. Can't see it, but I like it. I know I like it.
Yeah, we've gone bright today.
Very pink chin. Sorry, y'all. Okay.
It's fine. It doesn't look pink. It's fine.
Okay.
How was your weekend anyway?
Oh man, my weekend was in a weird way a working weekend, but it wasn't a working weekend. So,
Okay.
yeah, hung out with the fam, with the quarantine crew, and yeah, how was yours?
Yeah, it was okay. Again, we're kind of in a situation where we can't really do much. It's been announced today that potentially on the 22nd of June, pubs are going to reopen. So I don't know how I feel about that.
Wait, pumps like gas pumps?
No, pubs, like as in
Oh,
like
pubs. Oh,
drinking. I personally will not be going.
yeah.
So the weekend has just been filled with obviously knowing that the world is returning back to normal. But yeah.
But are we back to normal is the actual question.
Uh-uh.
Are we really back
No.
to normal?
No. Is my personal opinion, but
Yeah.
we'll see how it goes.
Well, we'll just see how things turn out, how they shake out.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's one of those things where I know for New York, we've been told like a slow phase 2 of openings, and so yeah, that's kind of the circumstances. Um, okay, so I have a random question for you,
Okay.
just to start off our Monday. Um, if if your life was a book or a movie, what would be the like the tagline? What would be the sentence that like you'd use to describe it, or what would be the title?
That is very difficult. I'm trying to think of something like funny. It's regarding my height because I feel like that would be quite funny to do like with the tagline. Like
Small and mighty.
when we were looking at, those places the other day and the microwave or whatever it was really high up and I was like
We're all like, yeah, we gotta move that down.
maybe that's the tagline. Just gotta move it down.
We gotta move that down for Jess.
Yeah.
Of a lifetime.
Our whole life. Oh gosh. What would your tagline or title be?
Um, hmm. I'm thinking that it would be okay, so you know what? Although she's not here with us today, on the call today, um, you know how Paula usually says at the end of the meetings, like, this is not normal. Yeah, I think that would be my book. That would be like, this is not normal. Just because I feel like my life is very strange. Without like being like into myself, like, oh my god, my life. Like I just mean like it is a little strange. So,
But in a good way, not a bad way, in a good way.
yeah, for sure. All good, all good. Yeah.
That's good. I like that. It's always hard. That's probably the most difficult question I think we've had so far.
Oh darn. We'll have to save it and ask Paula when she gets on the call next time.
Yeah, we'll have to ask her and see what her answer is, and then we'll share it with you all tuning in. But yeah, should we just get started? Kick Monday off. Okay. So hello.
Which side of the screen are you on for this? Are you on this side or this side?
Near your painting.
Okay, so I'll stay over on this side. Okay.
There you go.
I hope you're big enough, so it's not like
I've tried.
Me and like you over here.
There you go. I've made me as big as I can, and I've managed to fit you in as well. So
okay, cool.
Okay.
So I just want to make sure. I want there to be ample room for everybody. Yeah.
They can see me. It's fine. It's not like I made myself like. But hello and welcome back to Arghon AI Twitch channel. It is Monday. My name is Jess. I'm going to be your host today, and I'm joined by the lovely Lauren. Unfortunately, Paula is not here. Hopefully, she will be back tomorrow. We miss you, Paula, if you are tuning in. But as I said, it is Monday, so that means it is flags and polls.
Whoa!
A fun way to start off the week. So flags and polls is basically where we focus on interesting made-up scenarios which revolve around artificial intelligence. So this could be anything from discussing what decisions an AI would make based on certain criteria, or, you know, facts it's given, or it could be an AI competing against a human. Who would win in that situation? We don't know. But what is really fun about Monday's show is there is no right or wrong answer. So, you know, all opinions are allowed as long as they are, you know, within the remit of being polite and nice. But yeah, that's what's fun. So we have a nice discussion on the stream as well as everyone tuning in. So be sure to comment and let us know your opinions on these situations. But also be sure to friend us, follow us on the Twitch channel. You'll be notified when we are live, because it is always better to get involved in the streams when it is live. Also follow us on social media, so Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at Arghon AI, so ARGHONAI. And also, most importantly, check out the website, arghon.com.
Yeah.
Check it out.
I'm assuming it's somewhere here.
Hang on, there's a bit of lag. Let me see. Yeah, you're probably right on it. Yeah, you are. You got it. You got it. You got it. Yeah. So, as I said, be sure to comment along your opinions on the scenarios. We've got a couple of fun ones today. So, are we ready to get started?
I'm so excited. Yes, I'm ready. Yes.
Okay. So, the first scenario, which I think is great because you are a musical person. So, would you rather create a song with an AI and have full creative control, or create a song with a current top 10 artist but have zero creative control?
It's a good question. That's a really good one. Yeah, that's a really good one.
Mm-hmm.
I did not come up with that one. I think that was definitely you. It was good. Okay. So you see, because it kind of depends on like what your goals are, right? When you write the song, like, are you going, oh man, I need exposure,
Yeah.
right? Because then you might be willing to put up with like not having the creative control because the artist you're working with has maybe a great audience or something like that, or maybe there's something they have that you can learn from. And then, but then when you think about it from, okay, so if we're talking about like, let's say where the AI is up and running and it's doing the thing and it's, you know, you're using it not just for the music creation, but many parts downstream. It might be that your AI actually helps you with marketing and helps you with PR, so you might not need as much of a PR boost. And I like the idea of, because like I'm an artist. I write songs and I perform them. But I'm not like a sound engineer / a producer. Although I mean I have worked on producing and produced songs before, but that's not really like my area. So if I can have an AI partner that essentially helps me produce songs, because I'm like, okay, I want more of this, I want more of that. Find me this instrument, blah blah blah, and it just automatically like tunes or adjusts my mics and. That it would actually make the process of making music so much more streamlined. Now, if I'm working with a person, they might be able to teach me all that. Or if they're like no creative control. So if it's basically just like a sit there and do what I say, I'm likely not going to learn that much, because I just think that like generally the best way you learn is kind of by being taught. / doing it yourself. So it's this idea of being able to actually be in the activity. So I would rather, I think, outside of needing like human connection, like specifically like, yo, this person's great, go to their music or listen to the song we did. Outside of that, I think I would go with an AI, just because I would be able to find so many different ways of expressing the sound that's in my head externally, without having to like put up with an ego.
Yeah, exactly. Because you don't know who you're getting as well. That was one of my downsides. You don't know who you're getting, I'm sure
Mm-hmm.
everyone is lovely, but also for me as well, being a creative person, I enjoy listening to music. I can't play any instruments or sing, which I really wish I could. Um,
Maybe you just haven't found your genre of song. Maybe,
maybe.
people who say they can't sing, I'm like, yeah, but can you sing like Johnny Cash can't sing? You know what I mean? Where it's like there's a gravelly
Yeah.
blandness that is so perfect for the types of songs. So I always question when people say they can't sing. I'm like, maybe you're just trying to sound like something you're not supposed to sound like. Maybe that's the problem. Go ahead,
and
sorry.
and then all the comments are like, sing, sing, sing. Mm-mm. So yeah, it depends because yeah, I'm quite a creative person, so I kind of all these ideas come to me and I like kind of flowing off of that. So if you have no creative control, then literally I feel like you're probably just sat there and you're just doing what you're told. Even if,
Yeah.
again, in music, being involved in it, you might not always be like a massive fan of that certain genre. But I just like the idea of having creative control, but also working with an AI because that's something that not a lot of people can say that they've done. And I think I did read this year's Eurovision because of the whole pandemic. I think they had to use AI. They incorporated AI to they had to make one element. So even if they just like chuck in the bass line or, write some of the lyrics, which was really cool. Um, we've got a comment. So
Okay.
Ashley D95, hello, welcome back.
Hello.
They
Thanks for joining us.
say hello. I think I would have no creative control and use the fame when I gain a bigger audience and then make my own music and have full creative control. I mean,
I mean, we can't be mad at a savvy response. That's a very savvy answer, to say, hey,
I want the fame.
let's build up our profile before we even try to make something on our own. And I don't fault Ashy D95 for that response.
But again, yeah, it depends on what kind of you want out of it. Do you want full
Yeah.
creative control to let your musical juices flow, or do you want to build your career? Do you want to build your career and be like, well, I worked with
This person, that person.
We've
Yeah, because
also
the thing is, when you work with certain,
we've got Doctor underscore creepy saying, hey, thanks for
hi,
tuning
Dr. Creepy.
in. Let us know what you would do in this situation. So, would you rather create a song with an AI and have full creative control, or work with a current top 10 artist and have no creative control? Let us know what you would do.
Tell us. Yeah, no, I mean, it really, it's so a thing to kind of get that sign off by another artist, and that is really big. And so I think what Ashley D95 said is a very salient point as far as we when you're building your profile, sometimes you take the lack of I get to do what I want because your main goal is get people to care at all, and then from there you can um, go further and further and whatnot. So I see the brilliance of the plan. I see the brilliance of the plan.
Yeah, I don't fault that answer. Again, I can see it from both,
Yeah.
points of view, but I would go more the creative route because that is who I am. And again, who can say that they've made a song with an AI? Not many
True.
people.
True.
So,
Question.
mm.
Question. If you were to work with a musical artist, though, who would you pick? And for Dr. Creepy and Ashy D95, who would you pick if give us both answers. So Ashy D95 already said it, but tell us, would you pick an AI to collaborate with and have full control, or some musician, famous musician, with no creative control? And then after that, if you were to go with an artist, which artist would you pick? Yeah, so Jess, tell us.
I feel like current situations and
I feel
current
like I might know what you're
conversations,
gonna say.
I feel like Harry Styles would be very good to work with.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
seems like he's a very chilled dude. I like the aesthetic that he's got going on at the moment. I like the
yeah,
vibe of his music.
yeah.
And I feel like he'd make it fun.
Yeah, I actually think that he'd be way more collaborative though than like
Yeah.
a fictitious artist that
Oh yeah.
that like he would definitely I think he would be excited to share his own excitement in what he does.
Hmm.
So in like even if he wasn't trying to show you the ropes, like he would inevitably do so just because it's like, well, we're here and I like this and you're not gonna get it if I don't explain it. So here's why. This is like that. And I think he just because he seems like he'd geek out in the process of just doing what he loves. So I feel like you'd naturally just end up learning a lot from him. That's a good answer. Yeah, good answer.
Doctor underscore creepy has said, with full control, I'd make it play my favorite song over and over.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And if you were an artist, if you were a music artist, like you were the one making the sound and the music, would you pick the AI or would you um to do it like all on your own, or would you go with a musician and no control? So you're just in the studio with them and they're kind of telling you what to sing and write.
Yeah. And then Ashley D has said, he's just reiterated, I think celebrity first and AI are, after I've gained a fan base. I think I would collaborate with Tyler the Creator.
See, that's what I was not
Mm.
sure you were. I thought you were going to say Tyler the Creator.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, that's funny.
I
But
mean,
also,
both.
you doing Harry Styles made so much sense. So, yeah, no, I mean that's a good choice. Jess, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, both would be great. They make kind of different music, but I feel like
They have a
bringing them
similar free
together,
spirit, though.
imagine. What,
Oh, frick.
like, what would happen?
That's
But,
actually, I think it would be a really hot single. Like, I think whatever they.
yeah.
All right, Harry Styles, Tyler, if you're watching this, please
Please.
collaborate so we can actually enjoy the majesty of it. I think that they would, like, I think we'd get some really interesting, not sentimental, but like, like a thought provoking, like something really thought provoking that's still a groove. Like, oh my gosh. Or, or if they're having a good time and they're not trying to be intense, it'd be like the goofiest, funnest. Funnest, I know is not a word. Please don't come for me. But I think it would be. I think it would. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's a
But
collaboration that needs to happen.
yeah. I feel like they are fans of each other, so maybe who knows. As Lauren
All
said,
right.
if either of you watching or both of you are watching,
Yeah.
just do it. Just do it already.
Or you know what they might do? I feel like they'd both explore a sound that like neither of them fully gets into, but that they're both curious about, and it would be like so experimental, but it'd be really. Oh.
Okay, so who would you collaborate with?
Gosh, now you have my brain running on like what would they sound like? Okay. Shoot. Okay, that was such a good one. Okay. Okay. That's actually a tough question. I hate how I ask these questions, but I never actually think of it. I never
It's
think of
always
the answer,
fun.
so I'm like, wait, give me a second. Gosh.
There's so many people, isn't there?
Cause yeah, and I'm thinking like you want it to be someone you have fun with as well as learn with.
Yeah.
Someone who is like really, I think, who'd be really generous in the recording process and who would like stretch you like talent wise, like skill wise, like in what you think you can do, but who would also be fun.
Yeah.
So like okay, because a few years ago, I probably would have been like Pharrell. Sign me up for Pharrell because
Yes.
I just like. I mean, he's just. It'd just be fun to have a conversation with him.
Yeah.
And hear stories from him. But now, I mean, it would still be Pharrell, but I'm thinking about like okay, not a producer, but like an actual music, like a musician, singer. Crap. And Harry Styles, you already said Harry Styles, so I can't say that.
I mean, you could.
No, like we gotta mix it up. We gotta mix it up. It's give me a second. It's coming. Okay.
That's fine. You do what you need to do.
Okay. Gosh. Okay. So I'm not gonna include any of like my instrumental / jazz bands that I'm a fan of because, first of all, no one would have really heard of them. They're very niche, most of them. But Also, again, someone who I'd sing with. Oh my gosh. Oh Lord. Okay. I'm really struggling. Um, I would pick right now. There's like an actual spinning wheel in my head, and like there's names. I would pick. I would pick. Gosh, no. I would pick not that person. I would pick. It's like a Rolodex right now, flipping. Like, just imagine like a bunch of things popping up, and I'm just like, nope. All right, I'm gonna say something in like 10 seconds. I would pick Lizzo.
Yes, I
I
feel
would
like
pick
she would be
Lizzo.
so fun as well.
Just thinking about it from that like fun perspective, and she's extremely musically gifted. But she also, what I like about her sound is that um, even though it matches with the trend, like it's not she's not trendy in the sense of like it's just all trend, no original. She's very, very original. And I like that she manages to blend something very classical in her music taste with something that feels very now, feels very big, but also very, it becomes very like personal anthem to people. So I'm very interested in just how she writes songs. I think she's a great songwriter. And I love that. I mean, it's between, shoot, because it's either her or the other person is Bruno Mars. Okay. And again,
Yeah.
because I think of their songwriting skill and the way that they write songs that become like instant classics, specifically, like their sounds, they obviously there's so many more people who I could and would pick.
Yeah.
But I just think like they write songs that feel like they were here already, but are completely new. And I love that. And I love that they both seem like they're having a blast when they're on stage. And you know that they're definitely those show people who are, it's like, even if they're sick and tired and crawling across the floor, like on stage, you will not know that that's what they're going through because they give their all. And I'm not saying any other artists don't, but I just like the intention that they shove into everything they do musically. And I feel like I'd actually learn so much from being around both of them without it feeling like some pedantic lesson.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and I feel like Lizzo is that type of person, like whether you've got all this knowledge and skill, even if you were like a total beginner, she would be there and support you and be like, you are killing it, you're doing it. And then it
Yeah.
would make you feel so good. So I feel like that would be
Yeah.
like, yes, like I've
Yeah.
got this. I've got that like flair about me. So I feel like she would
Oh,
be a really good like mentor and just making you feel good.
yeah. I mean, because
Um,
she does it already. She
yeah.
makes you feel like the shit. Excuse my language. She
Yeah.
makes you feel great, without it being, and that's just her sound.
Mm.
Her music is literally like, are you in a crummy moment right now? Well, at the end of the song, you're gonna feel amazing. Like, and I don't take that lightly. I think that is definitely a skill because it's so easy to write music where you're like, yeah, I was down and I was out and I'm mad now, and you're just like, okay, I feel worse.
Hmm.
Whereas with her, and I think with Bruno Mars, when you listen to their songs, you're like, I can't really hate this. And then you just kind of, you're brought out
Yeah.
of whatever mood you were in. And I think that's really special. And they do it without it seeming cheesy.
Yeah.
Like I just don't feel like their music is cheesy, and it's so easy to make happy cheesy. But I like that they both. I think too the bombast and the extreme, like, I'm hot stuff of what they sing makes what they sing not be cheesy, because it's like they're too confident
Yeah.
in what they say for it to, like literally Bruno Mars is saying, "I'm too hot. Call the police and the fireman." Liz is like, "It ain't my fault that I'm out here making news. Blame it on the juice." like
Two songs that like get you pumped. You're like, that's it. I can literally do anything. So yeah, I guess you're right. They would just make you feel like that anyway.
Yeah,
That's
and
some really good
it's so
choices.
funny. The other day I was singing it while, um, um, I was doing something with my mom, and and I happened to say, I think I'm kind of good at this. I'm kind of cool, and I think every person should acknowledge what they're good at. I think it's just healthy to do that. Um, and so I don't think she'd heard the song before. And so I sang it and I was like, it ain't my fault that I'm out here making moves. Gotta blame it on the juice. Yeah. And mom was like, it's like, no, that's Lizzo. That's Lizzo, I swear. So it's like, yeah, it really, gosh, yeah. But what I'm saying is she had a reaction to it immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just think that, their music, the minute you hear the first few notes, you're like, like it clicks, it keys in. And that's special.
Mm-hmm. That is what you need sometimes. Mm-hmm. For like that Monday feeling. So like today, you might be like, oh, another week. Listen to Lizzo.
Mm-hmm.
And Dr. Creepy said, I do be vibing. Exactly. So.
Yeah.
Speaking
Dr. Creepy gets it.
So, yeah. But that leads me on. So, if you go to our website, arghon.com, which you can see at the top, you can download Arghon. And you can always talk to Arghon and get Arghon to play your favourite songs without having to do the hard work. You can just say to Arghon, find Juice by Lizzo. There you go. Done.
Yeah. As long as it's on your phone, you'll be able to do it.
Exactly. And also find us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at Arghon AI. So if you are watching this live, which we hope you are, but if you are watching it on a rerun, I sound like really old then, on a rerun, then be sure to obviously hit us up on our socials and let us know your opinion on that first scenario. Yeah. That was a fun one.
Send us a DM, send us a tweet, quote us, tell us what you think.
Mm-hmm. Slide into the DMs.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Are we ready for the second scenario? That was a fun one. I liked that one. Okay, so this one's a little bit more intense. There's a bit more detail to it.
Oh gosh, okay.
So people in the chat, get ready with your answers too. So, a popular Italian restaurant in London is looking to hire a new head chef. They are looking for a chef that has previously worked in an Italian restaurant, has a level 3 food and hygiene certificate, and has at least is in capitals, 3 years experience as a head chef.
Ooh, okay.
This Italian restaurant is going to use an AI to pick who gets the job. So, Chef A. This person has previously worked in an Italian restaurant. They have a level 2 food and hygiene certificate and has had 3 years experience as head chef.
Okay.
Chef B hasn't previously worked in an Italian restaurant, has a level 3 food and hygiene certificate, and has had 4 years experience as a head chef. Who will the AI pick? Why?
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a really good one. That's a good one. And a very savvy one, because I didn't even think about all those certificates for chefs, and all the things that they have to like certify, and yeah. I don't know if it's different or the same in the US, but it's really cool. I imagine it's similar.
I imagine it's similar, but probably it might be called something else.
Yeah. Or at least it should be, because we should be thinking about cleanliness and hygiene and stuff. Who do I think the AI should pick? I think the AI should pick option B.
Okay.
Those two. And that's because the fact that, okay, so the criterion about the certificate level and the number of years is what grabs me. So I think you said minimum of 3 years experience with level 3, right?
Yeah.
The first guy somehow managed. So I'm assuming that is not a crazy requirement. That's what I'm assuming. I'm assuming that that's more or less normal. So to reach that time frame, I mean, there could be any number of reasons why the person doesn't have number 2 level hygiene thing. Was it certificate?
Yeah.
Yeah, hygiene certificate. But part of me also thinks, why wouldn't you have that.
It
Like,
could have expired. Like, I think they tend to, well, speaking from the UK, I
yeah.
think they tend to last a few years and then you have to redo it just so you make
Mm,
sure that they're still up on
gotcha,
current hygiene practices, I guess. Yeah.
gotcha. Yeah, no, the hygiene matters, and if the other guy has all of those years of experience and manage to maintain their certificate level, then I think that they're probably a little more attentive. I don't really mind that they don't have any experience in Italian food because, frankly, I think when someone comes from a different perspective and has a different set of flavors and tastes that they're used to, you might even be able to create something. It depends on the kind of Italian restaurant you have. If
Yeah.
yours is like super traditional, like we don't deviate from the plan at all, how dare you? Then you maybe go with the first person, even though they're not like up to date. Maybe you just make sure they're up to date before they, hop on a cooker. But you know, if it's allowed to be a little new agey or a little different, I imagine like his or her taste buds are probably legit, and so you can kind of get, you know, they'll.
Yeah.
This is New York. Yeah. So hopefully, whoever that's going towards is in a good situation and not a
Yeah.
bad one. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, if it's like a fusion place or has any kind of modernity and kind of like isn't stuck hardcore to the traditions, I would go with someone who has a different perspective anyway, because they might bring different skills and new things to the kitchen that you know, wouldn't have, the traditional chef who's only done this one cuisine wouldn't have. Plus, again, I just like that they have a little more experience and they are keeping up with their stuff. But maybe that's just me being open minded, and I should stick with the regular chef. But I'm gonna go with chef number two. That's who I think the AI should pick.
Okay.
What about you?
It's hard because again, yeah, it's sort of the criteria is that they need to have experience. So if it, as you said, if it's like a traditional Italian restaurant, then I feel like it would be A, because you
Yeah.
can always get like a level 3. Again, it may have just run out as they've applied for the job, so they
Yeah.
may be able to get it again. Um, but yeah, they've all kind of met the like year experience, so it's hard because if you've yeah, because Chef B could have worked in a range of different restaurants, so they probably have different techniques. They could have worked in a burger place. I don't know, sushi. Imagine.
Yeah. Exactly.
So again, cool because it comes from different perspectives, and I guess in a way they've then worked with so many different people as well. So maybe that work ethic is slightly different as well.
Yeah.
Um, the thing is, I know the answer. I know who the AI has picked, but I feel like I would probably agree with you. I feel like Chef B, just because they've got the level 3, that's something that the company doesn't have to pay for from a business point of view. They don't. He's already got that. He or she has already got that. And they've got an extra year experience. So again, that could have been another year experience where, yeah, they've worked in a different setting, maybe even
Yeah.
a different country.
Ooh.
Imagine that. So, yeah. Do you want to know?
Yeah.
Do you want to
Well,
know?
okay, before we hear what the AI did. Oh no. No, I'll say it afterwards. It's still relevant to this, but afterwards. I'll say it after.
Okay. So, well,
Hmm.
actually, everyone tuning in, you haven't told us who you would think.
One option A or option.
B.
I tried. I tried. There's
It
no
was
comfortable hand
backwards as
signal
well.
for B.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no comfortable hand signal. Yeah.
Ashley D95 has said, I think I would pick option B. So we've got 3 going for option
Gosh,
B.
it's option B. If Dr. Creepy is still there, let us know what you'd pick. Are you gonna continue the streak of B, or are we the streak of B, or are you gonna go with A?
It's just
Let us
you, because
know.
you did it backwards, so it looks like. There you go.
Streak of B, or are we gonna go with A? All these hand gestures I make, I feel like one day someone's gonna be like, "She's in the Illuminati."
Oh,
Yeah.
Roshana B has put A. So, first person to go for A.
Why? Why A?
Tell us, speak to us, why? If you
I feel
want
like she
me to
can.
repeat the
Is it
criteria.
because of the amount of like experience in the space?
Well, no, because Chef. Oh, only because I want to be different. That's fair enough. That is fair enough.
Shauna B just wants to be contrarian.
But no, Chef A has got 1 year less experience, but has worked in an Italian restaurant. Also, we don't know how long they worked in an Italian restaurant for. They could have worked for like a month.
Oh,
Did
we
I
don't know
put
how
that?
long. What?
We
Sorry, you
don't.
broke up for me.
We don't know how long this person has worked in an Italian restaurant. They could have been in there for like a month. So, yeah.
That is very true.
Mhm.
Ooh, good
Okay.
question.
Right. I'm just gonna do it. I don't know if
Okay.
Dr. Creepy's still here, but I'm just gonna put you all out of your misery.
Well, if Dr. Creepy is still here, we still welcomed hearing their response, even after we hear what the AI was.
Of course, of course. So, the AI chose Chef A. Do you agree or disagree?
I knew it. I had a feeling. I had a feeling the AI was gonna pick A. You know, obviously I disagree. Obviously. It's very clear where I stood on that. I would wonder why the AI chose, if it's just like, well, criterion and experience was a big one. Isn't that interesting though? Because think about it. Most of us picked just having generally the just greater experience, a certain level, right? And even though we had experience as a criterion, we didn't really adhere to that so much in the picking. But an AI very well could say, well, I mean, it's going to say, well, no, you want an experience and this person has it. So it checks the box. And that's why it's so interesting. That's why we always say that AI is not going to take over decision making or or should I say, it's not going to replace people.
Yeah.
Because they're very different in how humans and AI are very different in how they operate, specifically when it relates to, oh, but I changed my mind.
Yeah.
Right? Specifically in how it relates to, I mean, yes, AIs can be programmed and become more sophisticated where they actually start to take in other factors that are mitigating and make adjustments and decide, you know what, this isn't a thing. But that's something that has to be essentially created and generated for them. But, a human being can look at a situation and be like, you know what, I really don't actually care about that because all of these other things put together are so interesting, right? And so it's a case of like, when we talked about like bias in decision making and how an AI, whatever the AI comes up with, if it has bias, a lot of times it's that's because of something that we put in. But also very similarly, an AI getting to sometimes we can if our ability to free think allows us to sometimes overcome biases just in the established rules, right? We can say, wait a second, that rule doesn't work, toss it out, right? So human beings are not really replaceable, right? I just think it's a really great way of addressing that human beings can't really be thrown out. Why? Because what they do so often is that on the fly creative thinking. That a machine doesn't have that same design. It can run through thousands of things and then have that scale, but people bring into it the nuance of, wait a second, let's actually look at the circumstance, and this is a thing, and so it's just so interesting because the AI says, wait, but this was the correct, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where every human being is like, but experience, certain level.
And it's also the fact that it's not even gone through like an interview process. Like, it's picked out of all these people that have applied. it was given either this one or this one. And as I said, it kind of ticks the box in, oh, okay, this person has got experience in an Italian restaurant, but we haven't necessarily said to that AI, okay, it needs to at least be 5 years experience in this Italian restaurant or in that, that type of place. So again, because to the AI, we've said, right, give us, based on this criteria, it said, well, that's the criteria, that person's met it. But yeah, again, like the interview process. So, as of right now, an AI cannot necessarily do the interview process. So having that human contact, you get to first impressions, but also you get to see how that person handles, under pressure. Yeah, and stuff like that. So I think, that's a really good point, and it's a good one to kind of remind people that AI is not going to necessarily replace us as humans, because there are some aspects that you just can't. You can't get rid of us.
Yeah.
We're important.
That's so funny.
But
oh my gosh.
Yeah. And again, it's interesting because you've given the AI the criteria, but as humans, we've kind of got a more creative way of thinking at the moment. So again, it's easier for us to say, right, they've got a level 3, they've got 4 years experience. Okay, it might not be in an Italian restaurant, but then we know, okay, that different experience can help maybe bring something new to this restaurant. Maybe they're in a bit of a rut, etc., where the AI just has given you the criteria.
Basic, like, this is what you ask for, this is what you get.
Exactly. So it's not the AI's fault.
No. The AI is doing its job, and it's working as planned.
Yeah.
You see, and that's, again, too, where we talk about what results you get from your AI really depends on what you put in.
Yeah.
If you with your AI, so, as we're talking here about making adjustments to your AI and the criteria you put in, we really strongly suggest that you go and actually learn to code for artificial intelligence. We have an AI called Arghon that you can manipulate and do things with. You can actually learn coding for AI on an AI like Arghon. So just go to arghon.com, that's arghon.com/Vision 2020, because there on that Vision 2020 platform, we have this environment for you to actually learn coding, to go from, whether you've coded before or not at all, you don't need a degree for this, and it costs you nothing, right? And you just sign up and you go from soup to nuts, as they say, and you learn, AI. We have video there to kind of carry you through the lessons and templates and everything to break it down. You can code for games, you can code new features and skills and abilities. And so it's not just learning, it's having that practical experience, because you can actually test it in Arghon, right? So your personal Arghon can be augmented to be able to do things like picking chefs and whatnot. So get in there and start using it. But yeah, it's so interesting because, like, it really depends on what you tell your Arghon, your AI, I should say, sorry, not Arghon, but just generally speaking, your AI to do. Because, if you code for there to be a sense of, okay, well, if they have this much experience, even if they don't have this will override. Like, you can put overrides in, but if you don't, then you're going to get, the traditional thing that you asked for. And so it really is that AIs are so much a product of who makes them. And that's why it's so important for there to be diversity. It's just, when we talk about diversity, it isn't a matter of, again, checking boxes and saying, oh, we have this person, we have that person, we've got all the Pokemon. It's really about, every single person is going to, similar to the chef who is from a different style of cooking, is going to bring their own flavors to the process. Did I wink right? This is what I meant. I don't know. My eyes are squinting when I do it.
I can't really wink, so.
Usually it's like, it has to be a really good day for my wink to just kill it. But yeah, so it's just a natural part of the process where if you have things coming from diverse places, input in the creation process from more than one way of thinking or way of life or lifestyle,
Agreed. Yeah.
you actually end up with a more well-rounded look at, whatever space or industry or idea. So, for us as a company, Arghon, we're really big on diversity in gender, diversity in life experience, religion, perspective, race. All of those things are terribly important for having a tech company that is actually going to be able to address and meet the needs of the global population. So yeah, it's a big deal to have that. The diversity. It's not just a buzzword. It's really great for the results you get, and you can get things that are operating at a higher level and a more, yeah, just more encompassing. I mean, you want to cross your T's and dot your I's as much as possible.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah, it's like the human brain. So the more information you give the AI, the more it's going to learn and be educated. So yeah, again, as I always say, that's why I love being a part of Arghon. Again, promise, I'm not having to say it, but because
I'm not holding a gun to her head like from across the Atlantic.
But because, we all come from different backgrounds and it's really refreshing. We have to kind of put on different hats as a startup company. That's something that happens. But it's so refreshing having a diverse group of people, again, race, gender, all of that, and just kind of dealing with sometimes difficult situations, but us coming from different perspectives and being able to deal with it and come out way better than we would have if I tried it myself or, someone else. So it just, every day is really fun. And again, I'm not just saying that. It does.
She's lying, people. She's miserable. We work her like a dog.
But it does prove that having a diverse team does make the work life way better. And, I couldn't be happier. But, to be a part of a team like this. So also, the reason why we're on here is to show that AI and tech isn't just for one certain person. It is literally for everyone. I mean, my background was in TV and film production, and I'm now in this space. So, you can literally
working in not just tech but artificial intelligence.
Crazy, literally crazy. So, you don't have to have a certain education, you don't have to have a degree, you don't have to live in a certain country, you don't have to be a certain age, you can get involved. And again, I think that's really refreshing that we can kind of communicate that with whoever tunes in and kind of get that discussion going. So it makes every day that, we're working behind the scenes, off the stream, but also on the stream, really fun and really refreshing. Yeah. So.
Oh, Jess, that was so sweet. Oh my gosh. When I hear you specifically, but any member of the team saying that, it's really wonderful. Because that's the attitude and the atmosphere that we try to create here. We believe in intelligent collaboration. Don't just throw kind of nonsense out and expect it to be given, the floor. We'll ask where you come from, why, but that's the thing. Intelligence comes from so many different places and so many different angles. And when you're talking about having a cutting edge tech company like Arghon, you have to embrace the difference. Vive la différence. Like, there just has to be something that is different about you to enable you to, and by you I mean the company. There has to be something that enables us to take advantage of new opportunities and see things, differently. And a big part of that is your workforce. It's your team. It's the ideas that come in from your team.
Yeah.
It's and the thing is, because I understand that, a lot of companies right now are also, not to veer off topic, I will come back, but, a lot of companies now are asking the question, they're looking around at their workforce and they're like, wait a second, we're not that diverse. And that's a scary thought to have when you're like, wait, but I care about people. I genuinely love, value difference. But, maybe you started the company as a group of friends, right?
Yeah.
And you all had a similar background. Maybe you came from the same town and same school. So therefore, you all look the same. You all have the same history and whatever. And that can be kind of daunting because I know that there are companies right now that are looking up and saying, oh no, am I part of whatever problem is causing our circumstances with, protesting and so on and so forth, racial injustice, blah, blah. And to that, I just say, welcome to the world. It's a great thing to have your eyes open. It's shocking. It can be, I think, scary because you're like, I didn't intend to be exclusive, and I think the thing that people should recognize is that even as there is correction, there is always understanding of transition time and intent.
Yeah.
And when I say that, I just mean, and I won't be long on this, Jess. I know this is your floor. But even as I say that, it's okay. So transition and intent. What does that mean? If you were previously, like, let's say your staff is all white, you're a tech company and everyone was a white dude from some coastal city, east or west, speaking for the U.S., and a certain income level, and that's it.
Yeah.
Now, again, what I'm saying is by no means the end all be all. Do, work with diverse people and groups that are actually, there are groups and organizations that are specifically for, and their whole job is to help workplaces become more diverse. And so definitely go with that. But, remember that, every problem solved has to be recognized first, right? Okay, so your group's not diverse. Great. I'm glad you noticed. Now, okay, well, look at the people around you. You have to know somebody somewhere who's got something to offer, but might not look like you, right? Again, just like you were saying, you work in television production, right? And you're excellent when it comes to filmmaking and editing and all that, right? But the thing is, what we have to remember is that we can't always, if you're going to be diverse and actually inclusive, so often we expect people to know everything before they come into the space.
Yeah.
And the truth is that, there have been moments when we've had to have the exchange, not in any negative way, not in a censoring way, but just, oh, wait, okay, this is how you do this, or let's try this thing you've not done before. Again, to one of the things you said, a startup mentality. Even if you are a large company, even if you're maybe you are a startup, remember that the startup mentality is always everyone does everything, right? And so you got to think, okay, well, maybe you have Black people, right? But they're only in your art department and you're a tech company. Well, maybe you might want to shift some of them over into, learning to code. Have them go to a C++ course or a HTML course or whatever it is, right? So that they have some more technical expertise and then they can participate in the larger discussion. Maybe you have friends who, you have a few Black friends, but you're like, they don't work in tech. Well, have you offered them, the opportunity to come in and workshop an idea? Because maybe what you need is a board that is more diverse and, better that it be people with different industry experience, because then they can spot your weak areas and fill in those holes. Again, look to organizations that are, go to the NAACP, there are many organizations out there where people can actually look and say, hey, my problem is our company isn't diverse and I'm afraid that it looks like some racist crap, and that was not what I intended.
Yeah.
Well, again, people will say, all right, great. Let's assess who you know and where you're looking for people, right? Maybe you need to go to after-school programs and find interns instead of going to, some major, application site that costs money.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just a matter of going to schools in different neighborhoods and telling them about your product. And then the kids will run up and be like, I want to work with you, right? So there are different ways and places to become a diverse company, even if you weren't before. And the biggest thing is that it's really important to don't be afraid of the discomfort of discovery or uncovering. Don't be afraid to learn that you have previously been, a part of the problem. That's okay. Realizing, ooh, I messed up, or ooh, we were blind, we weren't paying attention. That is okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's, again, the issue is not, I didn't know. Yes, it is an issue to an extent, but that's not the problem. The problem is when you then do nothing.
Yeah.
Right? And so
Exactly.
you simply solve that by going online and type in how to build a diverse workforce. Because what I can tell people, any company, any startup out there, is that there are thousands of individuals who have written on the topic. You don't even have to ask anyone. You don't even have to feel the embarrassment of publicly admitting to it. Just go online and ask that question, and there will be articles. There are whole organizations who talk about that. There are you can go to meetups also. I think that's a big thing. Go to meetups
Yeah.
where you have black programmers and coders, and actually go and see them and meet them. And you'll find that they exist in every city. Why? Because, people like to gather and have community. So there are things to do, and
Yeah.
absolutely don't feel embarrassed because you haven't been diverse. Feel embarrassed if you don't do anything to fix it. But you can, and you don't even have to tell anyone. You can just start going away at it. But remember that diversity is a superpower, and people don't always have to have the perfect package when you get them. It's so and here's the thing. When people learn and they're trained by you, they know it and they value it. I know that in my experiences with this company and working with Mr. Brown, and the amount of things that I've learned and I've expanded, outside of the fact that, yes, he is my father, there is so much respect that I have, because in learning, I see how much work has been done.
Yeah.
I see how much growth I've made, right? And Jess, you can say if that's the case for you, but I know that people value it when they have, when they know that your company will help them grow.
Yeah, 100%. And again, that's one of the many reasons why I like, or love, should I say, being a part of Arghon. Because, yeah, as a startup, you do, as I said again a minute ago, you have to sometimes put on several different hats. But, you're learning. And another point you made earlier on, I am very similar. Like, I love doing stuff. That's how my brain learns. I'm like, right, if I do it, then it's going to go in easier. So the fact of, when we're coding AI, we've got Collie there talking us through it. The fact that I'm doing it and even having his time is incredible. But yeah, being able to kind of do that, do a bit of video stuff, do this Twitch channel and stuff. You learn all these different areas. But kind of going off your previous point, I think, it's really important that if you, in the past couple of weeks, it's been highlighted that maybe your team isn't diverse, the important thing is to learn and educate yourselves on that matter, and improve the current situation. So again, you're not a part of the ongoing problem, you're trying to do something about it. So learn, educate yourself, and improve the current world that we're in, because it is going to be so much better when every company looks like Arghon, has so many different people from so many different backgrounds, because again, you get so many different perspectives that you wouldn't have if you had, someone that looked like me everywhere, because, there's only so much knowledge I know. So, and I think that's a really good point that you've made. So again, it makes me very proud to be a part of this team. So
yay!
Yeah.
I have an off-topic question.
Go.
But it's actually on the previous topic, which is,
Okay.
if you were to open a restaurant, Italian, whatever. Okay. If you were to open a restaurant, what kind of food would you serve, and what would you call it?
Oh,
And same to
it's
any of
another
our
name.
viewers, if you're still on, let us know what kind of restaurant, what food would you serve, and what would you call it if you had your own restaurant?
See, really like sushi, really like Thai food. Maybe I'll do like a fusion. So it's like Asian cuisine with some sushi, some Thai, some Chinese,
Pan Asian.
There you go. And then I don't know what I would call it. I literally have no idea. I'm trying to think.
It doesn't have to be like an Asian name. It could be something.
No, I'm trying to think of something with my name, but then I'm like, yes, Jess. Because then we're going to yes, Jess. Yes, Jess.
Also, when people are like, okay, what restaurant do you want to go to? Yes, Jess. Yes, Jess. That's where we want to go. Yes.
There you go. Exactly.
Just imagine what like hungry people sound like saying your name, and then that's essentially it. Oh my gosh. So I'm very similar to you on the. I don't know why I'm using the scissors to point. It's just in my hand. I'm very similar to you, where I would go to um, Asian food, specifically. Um, but I think also I just think about my Jamaican roots, and I almost imagine Jamaicans being like, "How dare you not include us?" And I think about the fact that there's so much uh, tie over between Asian food and Jamaican food, because so much of the fruits and things came over from Asia, and the people, that so much of our food is actually a blend of Asian and African dishes. And so I think I would do something that is like an experimental but deeply flavorful
Mm-hmm.
um, Asian Jamaican restaurant, but it would have to look like, it has to be very chic. Like I said, I don't mean chic like white tablecloths and everyone's in a suit. That is uncomfortable. I can't eat comfortably when I'm like in
Mm-hmm.
a straight jacket, you know? Um, I love the idea when it comes to restaurants of having a place that has like all of the everything. So the every dietary restriction has been considered
Yes.
one way or another. And there is a very like high service and upscale, but the environment, the clothing is comfortable. And as much as possible, I don't want it to be a scene. I want it to be a place where people eat and laugh and have a good time. I don't want it to be so cute that everyone's just looking at everybody else, talking about, does anyone else see me? I don't like restaurants like that. I want
Like
it to
an
be a place.
Instagram style thing. But also, I think what's really cool and what I would with my Yes Just restaurant is I sort of like those restaurants that don't make you feel as if you have to come with someone. Like, if you want to dine by yourself,
Oh
do
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. I agreed. As someone who has eaten at restaurants by herself plenty of
Yeah.
times. Yeah. Well said, Jess.
Because
Yeah,
sometimes if
Jess.
it is like that, like straight jacket, as you said,
Yeah.
it sort of makes you feel like you can't go there because everybody's going to be looking at you and there's an empty seat in front of you and you're like, yep, well, no one's joining me, don't judge me. But yeah, everybody is judging you. So
Yeah.
I want people to feel like, if you really want Yes Jess, come by yourself. If, your friend's
Yeah.
busy or your partner's at work, come. Just come
Yeah.
in.
Post quarantine, all of this is gonna be live and popping. Our restaurants are gonna kill it. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And what would I name it? I'd probably name it like the outside or something. Like I'd give it a name that feels like we're talking about something like a mystical place or something. Mostly because like I want people to say it and for it to sound like, I want it to sound like a storybook, like they're going through the wardrobe. You know what I mean? To Narnia.
Yes.
Um, yeah. So maybe I'd call it the word. I don't know. Whatever it is, it has to be. It has to sound a little whimsical and preferably not too like too, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but it needs to feel approachable. Like you could see anybody and everybody there, whether it's the hottest celebrity or the chef who's like off work but knows they'll get some good food, so they came to sit down. They've got their
Mm-hmm.
napkin in their chest and they're like, "Don't talk to me," and they're just going in. All the
Mm-hmm.
way to like the family, and then also you have like the young people who are like, it's a late night out and it's 2 a.m. and they sat in and they're all eating and chatting and they're maybe a little bit drunk, but they're like, but it's good times and no one's in trouble or anything.
Yeah, they're having a
Um,
good time. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I would want to have a place like that. That's just really where it's like mostly just good word of mouth and good atmosphere. And when people go, I want people who just walk by to feel comfortable walking in because it's approachable, and for it to be a place that people like to talk about. Like they're excited to share with their friends. Like, hey, you should go to this. But again, not I don't want it to be trendy. Like I really like I don't want it to be trendy. I don't mind it being busy. I just don't want it to be trendy.
It reminds me of a place when I was at uni in Portsmouth. There was a place called Pie and Vinyl. So it was a bit of a hipster place, but
Okay.
it did just that. So one half sold vinyls, so you could go
Uh-huh.
in and get your records. But the
Yeah.
other half was like a really small restaurant. But yeah, you'd get pies, like all different kind of pies. I think there was like a nacho pie once. You could get like a fish and chip pie, and it's all
Okay.
inside.
That sounds fun.
And it was really cool because you were sat in there and you're like, this doesn't look trendy, like as in you can't see like big celebs coming here. But like you could come here with your friends, you could come here with your family. And then like in the drinks, they would come in like these old different teapots. So even if you weren't drinking tea, like it could be like a fruit juice or something,
That's
it
really
would
pretty
come
fun.
in like these really like old fashioned teapots. So it would be Instagrammable in the sense of,
It's cute.
yeah, but
Yeah.
not like everybody's getting dressed up just to get their photo taken there, just to have
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
chips or,
The one
yeah.
that I think most inspires me is one that my friend, she's a singer, songwriter, and she's an excellent producer. I'm going to shout her out here.
Yay.
But her name is Glorious. And on my birthday this year, she invited me somewhere. And so my sister and I went. And then at the end of the night, we ended at this, I think it was Chinese food, but it was Asian food. Yeah, Chinese food. Um, in Brooklyn called Ways, which is quite. I think the area is a bit hipster, um, but the restaurant looked a little bit of everybody. Frankly,
Mm-hmm.
the food was delicious.
Mm-hmm.
They were open super late, and it's funny because we came in and there was kind of an emptiness, and then within a few minutes the place was packed.
Yeah.
But what I noticed was just that I felt very comfortable. There was no like, people were in regular clothes, normal clothes. It wasn't a particular style, hipster or anything. It was just whatever they were coming from, whichever place. But it was the food was delicious.
Good.
And I would love to go back there again because it was delicious. But most specifically, I liked that the host was very comfortable. The owner of the place, very nice, greeted everybody. It just felt kind of neighborhoodish. So yeah, you'd walk in there because you're hungry. You wouldn't walk in there because it looks like a scene.
Yeah. See, I like places like that. That's
Mm-hmm.
the type of places I want to go.
Yeah.
Yay.
All right. So when you're in New York,
That's it, we're going. Right. Well, I think we should wrap up here because, as we always say, we can talk forever about these things, especially food as well. So, but
we really can. Yeah.
yeah. So that is it for today's stream. Be sure to friend us, follow us on here. You'll get notified when we go live. As I said, it is way better to be involved in the conversation as it is going on. We will be back tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Topic Tuesday.
That's 8 p.m. British summertime. So
see, I forget about my time. I'm like, forget about the UK. Don't.
She
So
deals with Americans so much. She's like, yeah, I'm used to it now. I just convert time in my head.
So that's 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. British Summer Time for Topic Tuesday tomorrow. So that is basically where we focus on some interesting topics we've come across in the news about artificial intelligence, and we discuss it. We talk about it. So yeah, but for more Arghon content, be sure to follow us on our social media. So Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at Arghon AI. We do have a YouTube channel as well. I forgot to say that at the start. So go check that out because there's some more really cool videos there. So youtube.com/Arghon. And obviously, most importantly, go check Arghon out for yourself. Go to the website, www.arghon.com, download Arghon. You can literally talk to the AI like we're having a conversation right now. So go check it out. Let us know what you think. But that is it. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you again tomorrow.
See ya!
Bye!